And I'm going to turn it over to our greeter this morning, Mike Whitberger. Good morning, Mike.
All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Mike Wittenbarger. I've been a board member with the Volunteers of America since 2016, July 2016. I could not be more proud to serve such a wonderful organization that truly operates as a church without walls. As they say, the Volunteers of America is a vast organization. We have ministries geared towards serving the most vulnerable members of our community. We have ministries serving veterans, serving our senior community, behavioral health, people with disabilities. And the one that hits the closest to my heart is our mission to serve the children and families of our community through the LightHouse program, as well as our partnership with communities in schools. I don't have to tell anyone on the call about the huge gap in opportunity that exists within our community. As a father of two wonderful little girls, aged 7 and 4, they have every opportunity they could get, and they attend school at South Highlands Magnet and the Montessori and all the programs they're involved with. I see firsthand how much time, money, and family support it takes to raise a child, and I recognize that not everybody in our community has that opportunity. The CIS and the LightHouse programs are really bringing some of that opportunity to the schools and to those kids most in need. These programs are designed to allow them to feel valued and help them to be the most productive and best students they can be, and ultimately the best members of society that they can be. So I really want to thank you all for taking a little bit of time out of your day to hear a little bit more about this program. And it's a really special program. I thank you all for your time, and I wanted to turn it over to our president, Chuck Meehan.
Well, good. Thank you, Mike. Can everybody hear me? That's a thumbs up. Good. Appreciate it. Well, Mike, a special thank you to you for your service on the board and for your remarks. You really put in perspective what we're gathered today to learn more about. And Carolyn Hammond, Chris Gabriel, and I were at the Caddo Parish School Board office. We just finished a meeting with Dr. Gorey and with Keith Burton. We have tomorrow our advisory council meeting for communities and schools, and I'm very happy to share with the group that we're adding 3 new members to our advisory council, and one of them is Mike Wittenbarger. So good to have you as an advocate for what we're doing in that special program. What I want to do today is I want to be very brief. And the reason is that what we've gathered here today on our virtual tour is to learn more, or just an update on our communities and schools and LightHouse program. And that's really why we're gathered today. But before we get there, just a couple of things I do want to share with y'all is an update on where we are in terms of obtaining the resources needed to support all of what we do. And Mike described it. He mentioned that Volunteers of America, what we're focusing on in this day and time are our services for children and families in poverty, and that's primarily our CIS and LightHouse programs, but also serving people with disabilities, senior adults, homeless veterans and families needing support who find their way to us. And for the fiscal year that started July 1 and ends June 30th of 2022, our board approved a budget of a little over $17 million. And the majority of our funding comes from government, but the difference between that $17 million and what we receive in government, we projected to be $2.5 million. Again, this year, we refer to that as the gap of uncertainty because we haven't quite broken free from the effects of COVID. It continues to affect our revenue, and it also affects the expenses that we incur. But as of today, we've received $1,206,344 towards that $2.5 million gap. So that's where we are. We're going to continue with it, working on that and eliminating that gap, which can ensure that we will continue the programs and services serving those populations that I mentioned. So at this time, let's get on what we gathered here today on our virtual tour. And that's to hear more about what we're doing in the area of serving children and families in poverty. And I'll turn it over to Carolyn Hammond, who is our Vice President for that division.
Well, good morning, everyone. And I just want to say thank you for taking your time out today to learn more about what we do with our communities and schools and LightHouse program. You're going to hear a lot more from Takara and Stacy about the specifics of our programs. But what I wanted of LightHouse services, and the LightHouse, our mission for the LightHouse is to provide academic, social, and emotional opportunities to vulnerable students in a safe and loving environment. So that's what we want to do during our after-school and our summer programs, exposing kids to opportunities that they may not otherwise be available to them, like Mike was talking about and when he spoke. This year, we are in 7 schools in Caddo Parish. We have 2 community sites and then our teen club, which really focuses on students in high school and preparing them for life after high school. And for our Communities and Schools program, the mission of Communities and Schools is to support students with the community supports that they need to be successful in school and to achieve in life. That's really the goal of CIS. I'm proud to say, if y'all can believe it, this is our 8th school year for Communities and Schools. We are on 10 campuses and we have 15 site coordinators. So we've really grown and we're excited about the growth and opportunity that's taken place with CIS. We are proud to be the first licensed partners of Communities and Schools. And so this is something that we take very seriously, that what we do and to really take and provide students with the services they need to be successful. I am also happy to say that our goal is to layer our services. Wherever we have a Communities and Schools program, we want to also have our LightHouse program. In addition to those, we also want our students to have access to behavioral health as well as a community health clinic, so they can get the health needs that they have as well. If we've learned anything from this pandemic, we've learned that students need the social and emotional stuff as much as the academics, and that includes the health support that they can get as well. This year, we're co-located on 6 campuses, and Fair Park is one of those campuses. So we are proud to show you around Fair Park today, and I'm going to turn it over to Stacy Chapa-Bradley, who is the Program Director for Communities and Schools.
Thanks so much, Carolyn. Hello, as she said, my name is Stacy Chapa-Bradley, and I've been the Program Director for Volunteers of America Communities and Schools here for just over 2 years. I'm originally from Texas, where I worked as a CIS coordinator for 11 years, and I'm passionate about this work and look forward to sharing it with you this morning. First, I want to tell you about Fair Park Preparatory Academy. At a glance, the school has 653 students from 6th to 8th grade who receive integrated student supports, which I'll tell you more about later. This is the 5th year CIS has served kids at Fair Park, and typically there are between 80 and 100 kids who are individually case managed through CIS. I'd like to introduce you to one of those students now. Deshaun?
Hello, she said, my name is Deshaun. I'm going to be talking about how I found out about CS and what it has done for me in my life. The way that I found out about it is from a person who used to work here, a dean called Dean Ezel. At first, when he told me about it, I thought it was another class that I had to go to. And at that stage, when I was in 6th grade, I did not like going to my classes because my grades and my attitude that was going towards it. So when I came to him the second time, he explained to me about how CS can help me with my grades and my attitude. So I came down here and got a parent sign form, gave it to my mother, and she signed it so I could come back here. When I came back and I got signed up for CS, it has helped me with my math and a lot of my science grades. And my attitude has really skyrocketed since I've been here. And I'm pretty sure all the kids here that use this would not really have a good feel for it if they joined it.
Thank you, Deshaun. That's great. Thanks for the insight. Earlier, I mentioned integrated student services. This is a comprehensive school-wide services and individual interventions that involve the schools and communities working together to address the students' needs, such as academic, physical, psychological, social, and emotional. This could look anything like giving out a school uniform to a student in need, provide a tutor for those needing academic assistance, or school-wide incentives such as no tardy parties to help improve attendance. CIS also brokers services to the students and their families by connecting them with agencies throughout the community, such as the North Louisiana Food Bank and VOA's Youth Behavioral Health Program. CIS is considered, as Carolyn said, the most effective dropout prevention program, and it's based on data and research. This is a CIS model is one of assessment, support plans, implementing the integrated student supports, monitoring, adjusting, and finally, we evaluate for results. And we compare those results against students who are non-case managed to see that our case managed students have actually made improvements and gains through the help that they've got through CIS. Finally, CIS works because, as the founder, Bill Milliken, said, it's relationships, not programs, that change children. This happens when a site coordinator is placed in a school to provide services in the school to work on the ABCs, which is attendance, behavior, course performance, and social emotional learning with case managed students to help effect a change. I'd like to introduce you to two site coordinators at Fair Park, Lanaya Young and Granada Knox. They've only been on campus about 3 weeks, but they're already doing really great work, and they have many plans and ideas to engage the student and their families. Let's take a tour of the room.
We are the CIS coordinators here at Fair Park Middle School, and we're going to give you a tour of our room. So come right in. Here at Fair Park, we have 6th through 8th grade, and each grade level has their own color uniform. So right here we have our gray tops for the 6th graders. And here we have our gold tops for the 7th graders. And here we have our black tops for the 8th graders. We also have our uniform pants drawer for the girls and boys, different sizes as well. And also, we have our food pantry hygiene, which is social part. This is our food pantry that we keep for our students here at Fair Park. This is the hygiene closet. And our utensils. Alright, follow us over here on the other side of the room. This is our calm down area for our students here at Fair Park. And our reading area as well. And over here, this is our resource center where we have 2 computers here set up for the students when we bring them in, to where we basically can pull up some different items and things for them on the side of the website. And here are some games that we have for our students who come in and are able to play if they are behaving well and doing the things that they need to do here at Fair Park. And that sums up the tour for our room. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you too. Lanaya, Granada, great job. Just keep up the good work. Now I'd like to turn it over to Cara Hupkeby with the LightHouse.
Good morning. Of course, I'm Takara Huckabee, Director of LightHouse Services. We also have on the call Miss Jackie McIntyre, who is the Assistant Director of LightHouse Services. And of course, together we work to ensure that we light the path for our students to have a successful future. At Fair Park, we are really focused on providing academic support as well as enrichment opportunities to the 6th through 8th grade scholars there. We like to really say that this is a time for them to participate in disguised learning, so that, you know, they can not only do things that will enhance them academically, they'll have fun doing it. All right, we also have our site coordinator at Fair Park, and her name is Ms. Douglas. Ms. Douglas has been serving as site coordinator at Fair Park for, I would say, 2 years. COVID kind of put a little pause in there, but she has been there and really has been an advocate for the LightHouse program there on the campus of Fair Park. So day-to-day in the LightHouse program, of course, we always provide assistance to the students in regards to their homework. We want to ensure that whatever the teachers are providing for those students to practice, that we have teachers employed, daytime teachers employed, that are there to provide them with that assistance. And of course, you know, middle schoolers, you get the typical, I don't have homework. Well, we like to live by the motto, there's no such thing as no homework. So we always make sure that the teachers provide them with some sort of activity that will enrich and enhance them during the homework time. Now, these pictures that you see, of course, are pre-COVID pictures, so that's why we don't have any kids with masks on. All right, so building upon the academic skills taught during the school day. So for us, the most effective way to do that is to hire the teachers who are already familiar with the curriculum and already familiar with the things that the students will need in order to progress. So we typically focus at Fair Park on math and literacy per the request of the principal, who did share with us that the math in particular has been an area of struggle for many of the students. So we try to ensure that the teachers do a variety of activities that will help to really review those foundational math skills as well as enhance those ones that they're currently working on. So what is a LightHouse program without some enrichment? There isn't one. Within the LightHouse, not only do we want to provide academic support, but we also want to ensure that students have the enrichment opportunities that will help to enhance them as well. So for us, recreation, of course, is always a big hit. We not only provide your typical recreation experiences like your basketball, your football, we try to expose the students to things that they wouldn't ordinarily participate in. So that at Fair Park has included volleyball, where we partner with the YMCA to send out folks to come out and teach them the game of volleyball. We've also had, before COVID, we were doing karate with the students, so they were able to participate in that as a recreation. So we want to make sure that they have those culturally enriching opportunities, as well as recreational opportunities to enhance their experience at the LightHouse. Now, of course, our community partners help to make things work for us. Here you'll see a picture. The students are actually working with Shreveport Green to establish a garden bed where they were actually used to plant their own food, grow, and harvest it. Not only do we partner with Shreveport Green, but we also partner with Volunteers for Youth Justice, where they provide leadership education to the students, as well as junior achievement. They provide financial literacy for the students. And with that, we were so fortunate, we were actually able to get a local attorney who actually grew up in the neighborhood to come back and provide that junior achievement curriculum to the students. So he was able to connect with them in a way that really engaged the students in that. Of course, COVID threw a wrench in a lot of things, and we had to pivot and become virtual, but we are so excited that we are able to go back to the campus of Fair Park in person. Their program has not started, but it will after fall break. And with this change, the one thing that we really want to enhance within our LightHouse program there is the social emotional learning that happens. We know that COVID has caused the students to experience many challenges, some challenges that we're not even aware of, but we want to ensure that we're not just supporting them academically, we're not just supporting them in their enrichment, but we want to make sure that they are healthy mentally. So we are definitely incorporating things with our teachers now to ensure that we serve the children at Fair Park the best that we can. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Tricia.
Thank you, Takara, and thank you, Stacy, Carolyn, Chuck, Mike. We appreciate everyone's time this morning. Are there any questions for anyone that you've heard this morning? I know they'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. You can feel free to unmute yourself or type it in the chat box. All right. Well, again, we're just thankful. Thank you so much for joining us this
Yeah, I've been
morning.
listening. I have to leave. I have to go to the root canal place.
I want to remind everyone that we have tours every month. Our Hope Begins Here tours are the first Wednesday of every month and at 11 a.m. And our next we have two more remaining in 2021. And our next one will be November 3rd. And we'll be at our McAdoo facility, which is our permanent facility.
No,
And then from there, we'll be
you're
going
obviously not on it because you're down here.
We'll be going to our downtown lighthouse. Let's see.
See, I missed that because I was on call.
There we go. All right. I think Anna and Mike didn't realize that they weren't on mute. But again, you can see here, these are our two remaining tours. We hope that you will join us. You can sign up for a tour by going to our website, voanorthla.org/tours. And you can sign up there. So with that, I hope everyone has a great week. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you later. All right. Goodbye, everybody.